Wake up, you drunk bastards! You know what time it is. Time for your favorite politically incorrect weekend entertainment commentary. It's Sports Frenzy 2.0.
It's the weekend edition with your Uncle Dave, the
And your
conquistador.
and your Uncle Kev, the maestro.
We are here to get you through. Yes, it's cold outside. Of course, we all know that's the time to go cozy up to the bar on a Friday night. Maybe drink a little too much, get that warmth in your belly, thinking you're going to get some warmth somewhere else, and it fails miserably, and then you end up Saturday morning with us.
And
but that's okay.
That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. We're fine. We'll take care of you. We'll nurture you.
And hey, at least this Saturday, the 20th of January 2024, is warmer than last week.
Yeah, God forbid. Oh my God.
When the temperatures plunge to negative numbers, come on.
Yeah, here at the Sports Frenzy Studios, all we can say is, thank God we weren't in Buffalo.
Yeah. Well, no, last Saturday actually wasn't bad, but Sunday morning we woke up to -3.
Yeah, but again, the snow they got in Buffalo was
baby,
ridiculous.
That
At
was
least we didn't get that.
Yeah, we got
the
lucky
cold,
on that.
but not the snow. But you know what we do here on the weekend edition to get you through. You got to get your eggs, your bacon, your
coffee.
sausage.
You get it rolling as we tell you what to listen to this week in music.
That's right. Rock and roll is first and foremost on the agenda.
And this week is Pretty Vicious, the Struts' new album.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to have a fun time on the weekend edition. I'm just going to tell you this right now. You need to stick around through this whole thing because we are going to have a blast. Because I got some fun stuff coming up later, and I think Dave and I are going to have issues here.
Maybe, maybe not. We will see.
The Struts, Pretty Vicious. Okay. We have both seen them in concert, and you've seen them more than me.
I've seen them numerous times. You've seen them twice. I've seen them 4 times.
There you go. And I have their first few albums. Didn't buy this one. And we've discussed the fact that the first few singles off of this album probably sounded better live because you saw.
They did. Both Too Good at Raising Hell and Pretty Vicious. My wife and I went to see them last summer 2023. These 2 songs they played live, and they rocked. So much better than on the studio album.
Yeah, and I will say right now, the first 2 tracks on this album, which are, of course, Too Good at Raising Hell and Pretty Vicious, my favorite 2 songs on the album. Off the bat.
They are the 2 best right off the bat.
This is a pattern. Again, I hate to bring it up. We've seen over the last year or so.
The first half.
They're shooting their wad right away.
Yep. The first half is the best, and then it continues to decline.
Right. Yeah. Now, Pretty Vicious, kind of the title track, surprised me a little bit. Because now Rockstar later on was the other big single.
Right.
That was released. But I like Pretty Vicious, arguably my favorite song on the album.
It has kind of an INXS sound to it.
Yes! 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 I'm showing him my notes where I wrote down it sounds like INXS.
They have that vibe to it.
The Pretty Vicious, the title track, sounds like INXS. A little bit of piano in there as well.
Yep.
But now I know Mrs. C.
It's her favorite band right now.
Yes, Dave's wife.
Don't put anything on me on what she enjoys.
Well, no, I'm not doing that. But I also know there's a little bit of pressure on you that you have to kind of enjoy what she enjoys. You know? I'm not going any further than that. I'm talking about music! Only music, people! Don't you get your minds in the goddamn gutter with me!
Hey.
Keep shoveling that bacon and sausage in your mouth and shut up while we talk. Now, I noticed on some of the other songs. Let's go to some of the other songs with the influences. So, great call, obviously, on your part.
Obviously.
So, now, I will say on Do What You Want,
Starts out sounding like Coming of Age.
I thought more Black Crows. I thought it was a little more of a Black Crows
See,
feel.
the initial bit, it kind of had the Damn Yankees Coming of Age riffed at the beginning before it kicked in.
And you've got horns in there, which I think a lot of
See,
this is overproduced.
It was. I don't mind overall. Do What You Want. The bones of it are there.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad song. I'm looking at the influences,
Yeah.
but I'm with you in that after the first couple songs, it just kind of fell off for me. Now, Remember the Name kind of had a Stones vibe to it, a
It
Rolling
did.
Stones vibe.
That's one of their. I'm surprised it took them this long to do a song. Remember the Name, because whenever they end their concert, they always go, "Remember the Name." It's kind of their hook.
Okay. But I have to say that outside of the first two songs, and then Remember the Name and Bad Decisions, I kind of liked, and Rockstar's not bad. The rest of the album let me down.
Yeah, I liked the first two. I liked Do What You Want. Rockstar was pretty good. I love the line, the kamikaze Casanova entering your head was kind of a cool
Oh,
little
there's some
bit.
good lyrics in here, especially Too Good at Raising Hell's got
I
great
will
lyrics.
say they are not lazy lyric and with their lyrics.
I think they're lazy musically. Is the problem I've got
Musically,
with them.
they tend to get back into a rut musically.
Yes.
Lyrically, they are very creative.
I would agree with you on that. Yes. I think they get into a very bad rut musically, but
Kind AC/DC has a tendency to do that too.
yeah, but they've got the power to overcome it. I
They
don't think
do.
the Struts do.
Not at this point.
No.
So
Typical example of that would be Better Love. That's a lazy, lazy song.
it was that. Yeah,
When
that one is the lazy one.
do do do. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear lyrics.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I want to hear a massive melt my face guitar solo
Instead of that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, you're talking influences. I will say, "Give Me Some Blood," second to last, had a Fratelli's feel too.
I liked it, except I will tell you this. I got my notes here. Everything but the chorus. The chorus was awful.
The chorus was bad.
Everything else about it was, if it wasn't for the chorus, that would have been a great song. Arguably the best on the album, but the chorus is so bad.
The chorus took it down.
Yeah. But you're right. Everything else about Give Me Some Blood, stellar. But then they close out with a terrible power ballad, Somebody Someday.
One of the two worst.
Now, what's the other one you've got?
I didn't like Bad Decisions.
See, I kind of like Bad Decisions. See, I thought that was all right.
That was one of my two least favorite.
Yeah. So overall, and we've talked about the fact that the Struts, along with Dirty Honey, are like
they are live bands.
And they're supposed to be the saviors of rock and roll. And I admire them for trying to do what they're doing.
But they get into the musical ruts.
Yes. Yes, and like you just said, better live. We've seen them both live. But this album and Can't Find the Breaks from Dirty Honey just disappointed me because they didn't take it to the next level. Right. Like a Rival Sons. Of course, I'm biased, and the Rival Sons have been around a little bit longer, but still, that band has that creative twist, that little different. They know how to change things up and do things differently.
But they stay true to themselves.
Yes.
They know who they are.
Yep.
Unlike, a couple weeks ago when I did Beartooth.
Right.
Who have no clue what they want to be. they're just all over the board like throwing darts.
Yep. So unfortunately, I can only give Pretty Vicious 2 frenzies.
Week 2.5.
I can see that. I can get on board with that. But
Strong 2, week 2.5.
yeah, I gotta go 2. I gotta go 2.
There you go. Not too different.
All right. So for our other review this week, a song.
Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden. First song off his upcoming album,
The Mandrake Project.
Afterglow of Ragnarok. Why is it these aging rockers are now trying to do these over the top, going for their magnum opus and kind of missing the mark?
Oh, God, I've got so much to talk about with this song.
Am I on the right track?
Yes, you are. You are. Number one, I will say this. My mistake, first and foremost, was I watched the video as my first listen to the song, which was a big mistake.
Oh, God.
Big mistake.
I can't imagine what the video would be like.
Well, the video was like 3 minutes longer than the song. And
the song's 6 minutes.
Oh, the video's like 8.5, 9 minutes long.
Oh my God.
It's got the whole D&D type demonic feel thing going on. And then Bruce Dickinson needs to go to a dentist right now. He has got the worst teeth I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not saying...
Does he have Austin Powers teeth?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. I was like, dude, don't put yourself in front of a camera on a close-up with those teeth. The baked bean teeth from Seinfeld.
Oh.
But, yeah, it's
too much.
You're overreaching. You got the whole, the mythology, the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Number one, you need the Iron Maiden guys behind you to propel it to a higher level, to make it more energetic. I'm not saying it had potential.
The potential was there, but it fell flat and just kind of missed.
Yeah, it needed to be an Iron Maiden song. It really did. And again, there are some solo artists, some singers who go off on their own who need to stay with their bands. And I think Bruce Dickinson needs to just stay with Iron Maiden. He needs that backing band. He needs the force. That's like if Rob Halford, we've seen him go off on his own. Nobody cares.
It didn't work. But when you get him with his band,
right,
boom.
There's a different dynamic. There's a different feeling. There's a different energy. And I think that's exactly what we need.
That's missing with this one.
Yes. So I give Afterglow of Ragnarok a week 2 frenzies.
I'm right there with you.
So now next week for music, we will have the new Green Day album, Saviors. Now supposedly,
pardon me,
press releases, PR and all that garbage, they're trying to tie this in. And I love this because this sounds like prototypical bullshit, and of course Green Day, we're tough punk rockers.
Yeah, no, you're not.
They're trying to say Saviors is the third in a trilogy, and of course of Dookie and American Idiot. So we'll take our 2 most popular albums and try to tie this in because we want you to buy it.
Because we know it sucks.
And unfortunately,
based on the first couple songs that we have not been impressed with.
Yeah. The early reviews are this is warmed over, rehashed old Green Day. But we will take
the hit for you. Because that's the generous giving souls we are.
We will give you our review next week.
Maybe we'll be surprised.
Of Saviors.
It could happen.
Even though I still think it's funny they denigrate their fans in a Taco Bell commercial. Look, Ma, no brains, but I'm eating a chalupa. Yay.
Yeah, I've got no brains. If you have no brains, you go to Taco Bell. That's what that tells you.
Yep.
Because you're a stoner burning brain cells. We've all made that run.
Then, of course, we're going to do a colorful music segment next week. So we have Green Day. And then we're going to go with 3 songs tying in Black.
Like our souls.
Our hearts. Black Crowes. Brand new song from the Black Crowes. Finally, no cover songs. Actual new stuff from the Robinson Brothers.
Finally.
I've listened to this song again. I've told Dave a dozen times. I love it so freaking much. It's ridiculous. Waiting and Wanting. Now, then we move on to, I'm not a big Creed guy. I'll never be a big Creed guy. I still think Higher was one of the worst hard rock songs ever. As much as I love Mark Tremonti, that is the most awful, ridiculously irritating guitar riff of all time.
Yeah, it's
Can
not
you
great.
take me higher? Ah! Just makes my...
If you want to hear a song along those lines, go High Enough with Damn Yankees.
But we're going to keep with the motif. The title track from his upcoming solo album, Black Butterfly, which is a little different, a little harder.
Yep, a little
very
different
intriguing.
from Scott Stapp.
Yep. Then finally,
the critics love them.
But again, this ties back into Dirty Honey and the Struts, another band that's supposed to be saving rock and roll. That I
gets
just don't
into
get.
A musical rut.
Their new album coming out is Ohio Players. The Black Keys. And honestly, they're assholes. Every time I listen to them in interviews, they are pretentious assholes. They think they're the be-all, end-all. They think they're the second coming of rock gods.
Yeah.
And I've never really gotten... They've got a couple good songs.
A couple that are overplayed because they're the only ones worth playing.
Their new song, Dave loves this, co-written with Beck.
I fucking hate Beck.
We all do. I do too. Beautiful People, subtitled Stay High. So we'll see. I will give you... I have listened to all of them. And I have definitive rankings.
And we will see if we match up next week, kids.
Yeah. Wanting and Waiting, though, I'm already gushing about that one. The Black Crowes is awesome.
So there we go.
You listen to it for about the first minute, and you're like, this sounds like the same old shit. And then it kind of takes a turn, and very, very cool song.
All right.
All right, kids. We're going to have fun with the movie segment. I have got this all planned out. Very, very fun. Your Uncle Dave says he does not have a movie review this week. So.
Nope, I do have a book review.
But
of course I do.
He's going to have to suffer through me talking about beautiful women who I'm in love with. Beautiful naked women. As I give you a current movie review. And I travel back in time. Not necessarily story time, even though I'm going to go back 40 years.
Wow.
A movie that I never watched that I wished I had. And I'm going to give you all the details.
And we'll see if it's one that I've seen.
Yes, you've seen it. You've seen it. You've seen it. I know you've seen it. But I'm going to give you, even though it's not a story time, I'll give you a story time.
Because it's the first time you've seen it.
But it's a lot of boobies and a lot, oh my God, I'm in love with these two women so much.
Chicks and guns and fire trucks.
There is a bachelor party tie-in! There is a bachelor party tie-in! It's not bachelor party, but there is a bachelor party tie-in. I'm telling you, I'm going to bring it all together. The worlds are colliding. when it comes to these movies.
We know what we like. We know what works.
We're going to have so much fun in this next segment. You will not be disappointed. Because a lot of talk about boobies and nudity, and it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned. Segment 2, movies here on your hangover cure this Saturday morning, the weekend edition of Sports Frenzy 2.0. We'll be right back. She walked into my office just as I was reaching for the bottle in my bottom desk drawer. Legs till Tuesday, lips like pillows. I want to hire you, she said, to find Sports Frenzy 2.0. Doll, I said, that would be the easiest case ever. Sports Frenzy 2.0 is on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Apple, everywhere you listen to podcasts. She nodded to herself, sat down and smiled. I grabbed 2 glasses. Life was good. And so is Sports Frenzy 2.0. Okay, everybody, welcome back to the weekend edition of Sports Frenzy 2.0. Getting over your hangover from last night, disappointment.
Yep. Getting ready to talk movies on Spotify, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Apple, Overcast, Castbox, Amazon, Audible, and iHeart Sports Frenzy, baby!
Otherwise known as iHeartRadio. Now, we're going to have fun here because we're going to try to tie in some things. Current movies to past movies. Now, your Uncle Dave, of course, reads a lot of books, so he's got a book review coming for you. But because he reads a lot of books, the onus falls on me this week to take care of you when it comes to the movies. So one of the movies we're going to discuss is something he's already watched. But the common theme here, number one, in the immortal words of Van Halen, beautiful girls. Beautiful girls.
Yeah. Beautiful girls.
So we start
I
off.
love them. I need them.
Can't live without them. No. We're going to start off with a movie that came out late last year. And I love her because she's not a classic beauty, but God, is she beautiful. And I watched this movie and I fell in love with her all over again. That would be Jennifer Lawrence. As I finally got to watch No Hard Feelings. I need time. I need time to discuss it on different levels. Number one, she is a fantastic actress. And I'm telling you.
She is really good.
Straight up. In all the movies, I've seen her all the way back to when she was younger. Her first Oscar-nominated performance in Winter's Bone. I've seen that. I have seen almost all the movies she's been in. I've seen Silver Linings Playbook. I've seen her in American Hustle. She's phenomenal. She is literally, she could be in anything.
She has got a great range in the different types of characters she can pull off.
Yes, and that's the thing with this movie is she tries to pull off a 80s kind of raunchy comedy. Here where it's the older woman, quote unquote, seducing the younger man.
Yeah.
Now, the thing I loved about this movie is it's heartfelt. It's not trying. It almost reminds me of my review last week of The Holdovers, where it is just so sweet, and even though there's a bunch of nudity, innocent and heartfelt, and it really, there are no political agendas here. There's nothing going on.
It's just a straight up story.
Right. And
take it for what it is.
And that's what I loved about it. I loved the fact that it's just a harkening back to the 80s romantic debauched comedies. Now there is a little bit more seriousness to it because you get the feeling that she's kind of playing a very odd role in that she's kind of half maternal figure and half whore.
Yeah.
While she's trying to take care of this poor 19-year-old kid getting ready to go
Off
to
to
Princeton.
college.
She's trying to nurture him and care for him at the same time. Her job is to sleep with him. Thanks, Matthew Broderick. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick with the long hair.
Playing the kid's dad.
The hipster doofus father is it's fun.
You have to do like a triple take to verify that it is Broderick.
But again, the thing that's nice about the movie is it does have very positive, life affirming messages.
And redeeming qualities.
Yeah, I had to do research on that, by the way. And she confirms she played all the nude scenes. That's all her.
Yeah.
No
No
body
body
doubles. Now I saw Red Sparrow, so I've been there, done that with her, and God bless her.
She's
all natural. She's
pretty.
It wasn't even the nudity though. It wasn't even. She's just beautiful. I mean, her face changes to me when I see her in different scenes with the way her hair is.
Yeah.
With
she's got a natural. She's natural. There's nothing fake.
You get
about
the impression
her.
that if she didn't have any ounce of makeup on her, she would still be beautiful.
Yeah.
And she changes her look based on her hair back, hair down, dressed like a trucker chick or like she's going to a formal ball.
Yeah.
In which she does all of that in this movie. She's just beautiful. She is just so beautiful. And again, I'm not just talking about the naked scene. And by the way, kicking ass, taking names in that scene. The kid, again, I spilled beer all over my notes. So, Andrew Barth Feldman. I'm not making that up. Andrew Barth Feldman plays the young kid. And again, we saw this all through the 80s with these types of movies.
Right.
Class was one of them. Where, again, the older woman seduces the younger kid.
Yeah.
And it's played out very well here. I enjoyed it very much.
The comic shtick parts of it were great.
Yep. But it's sweet, and I really loved it. It made me feel good.
It was an enjoyable movie.
Right, for the second week in a row, a very nice, heartwarming, enjoyable movie that would belie my black and darkened heart that I actually love both of these movies, The Holdovers and No Hard Feelings, because they have good hearts. Both of these movies have very good hearts.
Yeah.
And they've got positive messages. There's no political bullshit. Nothing other than trying to tell you, make up for your mistakes, live your life, do it the right way, take chances, and go out and strive for the things you really want. Yes. Be happy.
There you go.
So I will give No Hard Feelings a solid 3. Solid 3.
There
frenzies.
You go. It's worth watching, kids. It's more of a heartfelt than the true raunchy comedy that you used to get.
Yeah, there's a little more heart and emotion. Speaking of which, well, geez, I'm seeing Jennifer Lawrence prancing around on the beach naked in a movie that harkens back to the 80s. So why didn't I just go back to the 80s? Again,
get in the hot tub time machine and travel back.
I don't have to make up a storyline for this. I don't have to make this an excuse. Because I don't think I ever really fully watched this movie. Okay, but I can make it an Uncle Kev story time because I do have a story behind this. I happened to stumble upon on one of my favorite websites, ultimateclassicrock.com, because they post pop culture stuff as well, not just music.
Yeah.
40 movies turning 40 this year.
Oh my
That goes back to
God, back to
1984.
84.
And I'm telling you,
84,
I looked
yeah.
at this
Oof.
list. I looked at this
Oof.
list, and I'm telling you, 1984 might have been the greatest movie year ever. I'm telling Ghostbusters. I mean, just Schwarzenegger had the Terminator. He had Conan the Destroyer.
Yeah.
I mean, 84
84
was
was an
unbelievable.
ass-kicking year for movies.
And there were a couple movies in 1984 that we're going to talk about here. Now, one I watched and one I believe we alluded to because I need some help. Maybe you can help me with this. Okay?
I will try my best.
Okay. So, as I look through this list of movies turning 40 years old, I saw a particular one that I was like, I think I'm supposed to have watched this. I thought I watched it, but I don't think I ever did. And it was on Freevee. So I'm like, why don't we give this a shot? Because we just saw Jennifer Lawrence bouncing around the beach naked. So why don't we watch some more nudity? Because that's all the comedies from the early mid 80s were.
Right.
Was naked chicks, dudes trying to get laid. Now it just depended on the setting, depended on where we're going to, a golf course? Where are we going to?
Or are you at college?
Right. Or were you going to a ski competition?
Are we talking about Hot Dog the movie?
I finally watched Hot Dog the movie.
I hate her sunny side up, sunny side down, sunny side all around.
Can I tell you something about Sunny?
But is
I
she
love
hot?
her. Oh my God, I love her.
Sunny was my favorite.
Now, this is where I need help. This is where I need help. Actress's name, Tracy Smith. Okay, this is where it ties in. She's somewhere in Bachelor Party. She is in Bachelor Party, playing somebody called Bobby. And I don't know if it's one of the group of the women who go out rebelling, remember?
Right, yeah.
The
Oh,
Bachelorette
God.
Party. But she in Hot Dog is mesmerizingly beautiful.
She is.
Oh my God. And they never show her naked.
No.
You see everybody, Shannon Tweed, absolutely fucking naked. You never see her naked.
No, you don't.
You see her from behind.
Yeah.
But you don't know if it's a body double.
Alludes.
Yes.
But.
Okay. Hot Dog the movie. This could have been up there. This could have been up there with Caddyshack and Bachelor Party with the all-time greats. The only problem I had, too many skiing montages.
Yeah.
There's a lot of skiing. A lot. It's not like Rocky. You feel like you're getting a combination of Rocky and Bachelor Party smashed together because it's trying to be a sports movie, yet it's trying to be a raunchy teen comedy. Squirrel, of course. God bless Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Having sex in one of the
gondolas.
The trams. Yeah, taking him. Oh, my God. And David Naughton, Mr. Dr. Pepper.
Yep. Mr. American Werewolf in London.
Yes. Doing his best, trying to be the Lothario, trying to be the Ty Webb of the movie.
Ski World, yes.
Not quite up to that level, but he did his best.
He did a decent job.
Then you've got the Japanese skier.
Oh my God.
Who speaks nothing but Japanese throughout the whole movie, and then drops the one line in English, which is phenomenal. I don't want to spoil it. Don't
spoil it, but oh God, Hot Dog was awesome.
Hot Dog should be given more respect.
Yes.
Hot Dog the movie should be given more. Yes, it's cheesy. The lead.
It's the cheesy 80s. Come on.
Well, the problem is your lead guy doesn't have the chops
He
like
doesn't.
a Tom Hanks.
No, he doesn't have the personality needed to really push it
Right.
over the top.
He doesn't have the charm of what Michael O'Keefe in
Right.
Caddyshack.
Yeah.
He's
He
not the
just kind of falls
everybody. You
flat.
got to look at the periphery. You got to look everything at the
The
periphery.
surrounding characters really make the
And
movie.
it's better written than you would give it credit for.
Yeah.
Throwaway line at the end. It's not spoiling anything, but after the bad guy is defeated, oh shocking.
Yeah.
After the bad guy is defeated at the end, the last line of the movie is basically, "I'll see you in Hot Dog 2." Which is what
Which
all
you
these
never
movies should
got.
say. Yeah, we never got a
You
Hot
never
Dog 2.
got Hot Dog 2.
But this is a fun movie. It's just a fun movie.
It's a fun 80s
And again,
romp.
you got to take it for what it is. And again, this whole segment with me talking about how much I love Jennifer Lawrence and how she's so beautiful and her personality is so wonderful. Yeah.
But Tracy Smith has that allure.
Oh, just a beautiful smile and just, oh my God. I fell in love twice in one night with these two women. Jennifer Lawrence and Tracy Smith. I was just smitten. I mean, this is like back when I first watched Friends when they had the air conditioning down on the set to 10 degrees. And I saw Jennifer Aniston for the first time with her headlights. And I was like, I'm going to marry her someday. He's going to be my next Mrs. X Kevin Crane. These two. Oh, we're going to have a three-way. We're going to have a three-way. Fuck Shannon Tweed. Yeah, well. But, yes, and Miss Shannon Tweed knows what she's doing in a sex movie.
Yes, she does.
She acted like she was so comfortable, and she just so at ease in the whole thing.
Yeah,
she knows what she's there for.
Yeah,
she knows she's gonna show off the fake boobs, magnificent fake boobs, by the way.
She's a penthouse pet,
but she's so
comfortable in her.
Yes, she's like, let me take your head and put it against my massive bosoms and nurture you through this sexual escapade. But she knows. Everybody else seems kind of stiff and sorry, but
I would be too if I was there with Shannon.
And all I could think of was Gene Simmons is married to that.
Yeah.
God damn it. That tongue must be magnificent. That dude must be able to do carnival tricks with that fucker. But yeah, Hot Dog. I don't want to overblow my love for it because again, I grew up in that era, so I am very partial to those movies.
It's not phenomenal. It's not Oscar worthy.
And again, it's not
enjoyable entertainment.
It is not up there with Caddyshack. It is not up there with Bachelor Party because again, the leading men in those movies were better. They were more charismatic. I'll give Hot Dog a week 2.5 frenzies.
That's all you can expect from something like that.
Yes, again, way too many skiing montages.
Yeah.
At times I was expecting the agony of defeat. Yeah. The Wild World of Sports. Jim McKay to come in.
Where you expect to see Eddie the Eagle wiping out on the ski jump.
The agony of defeat. But it was just fun. Just fun. It's all about the sex and the fun and an innocent time that unfortunately for Dave and I is long past, but we can look back fondly at it.
We can.
And enjoy it.
There you go. It's on Freevee.
Yep. And they said with ads. I'm like, I don't think I got a single ad through the whole thing. I think I got to watch it all the way through with no ads.
Nice.
So, kudos to Amazon and Freevee for that. But
beautiful
kids. Well, I guess I shouldn't just say kids watch Hot Dog. If you're above 17 years old, not what we were watching it at.
16.
We have a legal obligation.
We do.
It's R-rated, 17 plus.
There you go.
Wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
All right, couple little movie tidbits before we give Dave his due with the book of the week. I have been waiting for Oppenheimer. You've been waiting for Oppenheimer. We all have been waiting for Oppenheimer. If you didn't
Wouldn't
see
you
it in the
like to
theater.
be in Oppenheimer too?
Well, now it's starting to take over the award shows. It's starting
Yes,
to
it
win
is.
everything, rightfully so. So Oppenheimer will be on Peacock on February the 16th. So mark
Still
your
too
calendars.
long.
Yeah, it's a month away. Mark your calendars. Oppenheimer on Peacock on February the 16th. Shocking development in Hollywood. Top Gun 3 is now officially going to be made. It's in development.
Oh, God help us.
I didn't think this.
The second,
Everybody loved Top Gun 2. I just didn't like it that much.
It was okay.
I know, but
I'm sorry. It was a rehash of Star Wars.
I didn't think it was the greatest thing in the world. I didn't. Sorry, I didn't.
It was decent.
I was happy
but it
did
was
well.
A Star Wars.
I was happy it did well because it kept all the other crap at bay.
You got one shot to get that bomb into the tiny little place and pull off. It was Star Wars. End of story.
All right, two other quick ones, and then time for the book review. Really want to see Godzilla -1. I really want to. I really want. Here's the thing. They are re-releasing it in black and white.
Oh.
1 week only, January the 26th through February the 1st, and that's it. Both versions are going to be pulled at that point. So after February the 1st, you will not get to see Godzilla -1 in any way, shape, or form, but in black and white for 1 week only at the end of January. Very cool.
That would be worth trying to get to.
Yeah. Reminds you of the old Godzilla movies. This was a brilliant, brilliant move by Toho to
Absolutely.
I've seen the previews for this Godzilla and Kong. The new one coming looks stupid beyond belief. This is the real deal.
Yeah.
This is the real deal. Now, I can't remember if we talked about this. I look back in the notes. I love the Parker movies. I love the Parker books.
Oh,
of course, Payback.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can go back to Lee Marvin, Point Blank.
Point Blank, yeah.
And Robert Duvall. Mark Wahlberg is going to play Parker in the next incarnation in Play Dirty, a book I've read. I think that's one of the few books in the world that I've read that you haven't.
Yeah. Which Wahlberg are we getting?
I'm tired of him. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm tired of. He ruined Spencer for me.
Spencer Confidential. I did not bother. I did not give it the time of day.
Ruined Spencer for me in Spencer Confidential, and now he's gonna ruin Parker for me, and that's pissing me off big time.
Then don't watch it.
You know I've got to.
No, you don't. You don't have to. I did not watch Spencer Confidential because I did not like the previews for it. I was not going to have it ruined.
Yeah, it would have ruined it for you. It would have. It's terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
So leave this one alone.
Why do they do this to me?
Because Hollywood sucks.
See, I know you stuck by your guns and you didn't watch the Reacher movies with Tom Cruise. At least those were enjoyable. Those were well done.
But it would have ruined
Spencer Confidential ruined Spencer for me. Just like the Wild Wild West, Will Smith ruined that for me.
I did not bother with it. There are things that I will not destroy.
As you always say,
things.
There are principalities.
That's right. Stick by it with this. Don't cave.
All right. Why don't you get the kids reading something?
All right. This week on tap, I have Mark Greeny's On Target. the second of the Gray Man novels. Court Gentry, ex-CIA, with a price on his head, assassin for hire. After the debacle of the first one, where his handler gave him up, and after saving him, moves on working for a Russian oligarch, hired to take out an African president over mineral rights. But his former CIA team leader kidnaps him, convinces him all will be forgiven if you help us extradite him instead of killing him. What could go wrong? Frickin' everything. Nothing works as it's supposed to. Things go tits up, as they say. And poor Court, trying to do right by him, trying to do right by everybody. Shit goes wrong. But things work out overall. But again, will he be a man wanted? Or will he find peace?
Well, let me ask you this. Since I've watched The Gray Man on Netflix. You know, I love Ryan
loosely
Gosling.
based on the first book.
Right. And you and I have both, of course, you will end up reading the entire series by the end of the year. I'll finish them up in 2033. But from what you've read so far, before you give your review of this book in particular, how does it compare to the movie? I mean, I know the books are usually better.
They are. You get a little bit more.
You get detail.
More detail of Court, who he is, what he stands for. His whole thing as a hitman is he won't kill anybody who doesn't deserve it. Just because you want to hire him doesn't mean the person should die. He has principles.
And he's not the first character like that.
Right. But his whole thing where he can meld in and out, they know his name, but he's got this mystique because he's got the ability to pull off some of the impossible stuff. So it's intriguing. I enjoy him. Pretty good detail on stuff, and he's flawed, which is good. He's always fighting his own demons, and that makes him human and relatable. So I'm enjoying the character so far through the first two books. I will give On Target a 3. They're long, kids. They are long.
Yeah. I've bought a couple of them in anticipation of reading them, and I think the last one that I got from one of my bargain book sources showed up about 3 weeks ago, and I think it was 800 pages. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
Yeah. On Target.
That's 6 months of reading for me
on
right there.
On Target as a paperback with the first 2 chapters of the third book was almost 530. So I think they're getting longer as he goes on.
Yeah.
But
of course,
they are good. They keep your attention.
Yep. And of course, the success of the Netflix movie with Ryan Gosling and Billy Bob Thornton and Chris Evans is just propelling the series onward. So
yeah. No, this was always on my radar to get to. But with everything else out there, it takes time.
Yep.
So
there you go, kids. Pick up a book once in a while, god damn it. Stop looking at those titties on the screen like your Uncle Kevin. Read like your Uncle Dave.
Reading is fundamental.
You don't need to look at Jennifer Lawrence full frontal nudity. You don't need to look at all the wet t-shirt contests in Hot Dog the movie. You don't need that. Read a book once in a while, god damn it.
You can find a balance between the two because I've seen both movies
Yeah, and I don't
and have enjoyed them.
think I'm sounding really sincere as I say that. But we will be sincere in
You
saying
can have this and that and the other.
Okay, Jerry. One final segment left here. Now we have adopted a new strategy on the sports edition where we're going straight through. But here on the weekend edition, you need time to decompress, maybe run to the bathroom and throw up in between segments. So
Or get another plate of bacon or sausage.
yes, plus gives us a break so we can pee. And of course, it breaks up all the different topics nicely. So, TV and streaming, moments of silence, dumbass or not, all coming up in the third and final segment here on the weekend edition. He's your Uncle Dave.
He's your Uncle Kev.
And we'll be right back. Hello, this is Will Smith. You might know me as the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You might also know me from Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2, and Bad Boys for Life. And now you must also know me as an Academy Award-winning actor for King Richard. Also by now, you know there are two things I do not like people talking about in my presence. Namely, my open marriage and my wife's lack of hair. Well, now there is a third thing you do not talk about in front of Will Smith. You do not talk about Sports Frenzy 2.0. My boys, Kev Dave, will hit slap the sports world in Hollywood each and every week on Sports Frenzy 2.0 and the Weekend Edition on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Apple, Overcast, Castbox, and Stitcher. Just remember, keep Sports Frenzy's name out your damn mouth. All right, everybody, third and final segment here for the weekend edition of Sports Frenzy 2.0. Taping here on January the 17th. This, of course, will be your hangover cure on Saturday morning, January the 20th. That's your Uncle Dave, the Conquistador Dave Height.
That's your Uncle Kev, the maestro, Kevin Crane.
All right, I want to revisit a couple things on the movie reviews. Kind of melding music and movies. I want to point out a couple things from the soundtracks to the two movies I talked about. Now, of course, I reviewed No Hard Feelings and, of course, Hot Dog, the movie. And I'm all about the music. Love my rock and roll. Can't get enough of my rock and roll. So I'm always looking at the soundtracks, listening to the soundtracks, looking at who performed what. One song from Hot Dog stood out. Mitch Ryder. Of course, of Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels, but he made a late career resurgence comeback with a song written by Prince that's in the soundtrack to Hot Dog, When You Were Mine. If you got to go out and listen to this song, the video's out there on YouTube. Unbelievably cool song. God help me for saying this. I hope the rock and roll gods don't strike me down. But I think Mitch Ryder does a better job than Prince with this song. And who is backing him up? It's not the Detroit Wheels. It is John Cougar Mellencamp's backing band, including one Larry Crane. Also nice. Kenny Aronoff. I mean, it's Mike Wanchik. It's a phenomenal version of Prince's When You Were Mine.
We've all listened to songs from the original artists and covers. Sometimes the cover outdoes the original.
Even if the original artist is phenomenal, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You know, like Prince.
Sometimes somebody can pull it off better vocally.
Giving it that little rock and roll, bluesy vibe, that drive just makes it better. And I'm sure all the critics, yeah, you never say it about Prince. No, I'm saying Mitch Ryder's version is better.
Gee, you harken back to Bob Dylan. everything he's written or recorded, whoever redoes it does a better job.
There you go. But yeah, pointing that out on the soundtrack to Hot Dog. But No Hard Feelings, again, that's a current movie. We're not going back to the 80s. We're talking about last year,
Yep.
2023. Great, great soundtrack with old songs on it that we would love, including The Stroke from Billy Squier. You got Bob Seger over the closing credit. Great, great song over the closing credits. I'm not going to tell you what happens.
Nope.
But it's
But
a beautiful.
It's perfect.
Yep. You'll Accompany Me by Bob Seger over the closing scene in the credits. Sniffing the Tears, the song I absolutely love. Driver's Seat is in the movie. Hall & Oates' Man Eater, of course, is very integral part of the, and a very intriguing, significant moment.
Yes.
Cannot, again, I don't want to spoil things, but
it's an important song.
Yep. And then the opening credits. Remember Tommy James and the Shondells, Dragging the Line, boom, boom, dragging the line. Great opening song. Soundtrack for No Hard Feelings is awesome.
It's very, very good.
So again, I have to draw everything in to music. That's my perspective. So those two movies have fantastic songs throughout. So again,
and you know who else appreciates good movies? Reacher.
Well, I just want to tell the kids, good music in these movies and boobies.
There you go.
But yes, Jack Reacher, we're almost done, unfortunately, with season 2.
Sadness.
But I love the look. I love the look at the end of episode 7 that Reacher gives.
Yep, you're fucking dead, dude.
He can't pull off the, oh, yes, I'm giving myself up to you because I'm a patsy. He can't do it.
No, he's like, I'm here to kill you. You are going to die.
So that's what we're going to get in episode 8. And if you're thinking we're spoiling anything for you, you're out of your mind. Because Jack Reacher in the final episode of season 2 will kill everybody except for
his team. You don't mess with the special investigators.
There you go. And they fuck with the special investigators.
And so everybody has to die.
Yes. So again, season 2 of Reacher, 1 episode left. Full review next week. But right now,
not disappointed at all.
Of course, next week as well, we will have our review of season 5 of Fargo.
Yes.
Where we've got all 10 episodes in the bank. We've talked about the fact that because it airs on Tuesday night and we tape Wednesday, little tricky for us to jump in and catch the current episode. So next week, we will have our review of the entire season. I will spoil one thing for Dave, though. I'm not spoiling anything, but I've watched episode 9. He's waiting to watch 9 and 10 together. Visually, the way they film the last 10 minutes of episode 9, it doesn't make sense, but it's fucking cool. It's just fucking cool. It's okay. It gives it a really odd, awesome atmosphere.
So it's hopefully leads well into the final.
Yeah. And you can kind of figure where the end is going. With the sheriff and the militia and all that bullshit. I told you last week I didn't like the whole abuse storyline. I'm not comfortable with it. That's just me.
And it's supposed to make you uncomfortable.
I know. And it should, but it's normally not something I would watch. I already know it's bad. I don't need to see it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things like that. Animal abuse. I don't need to see animal abuse to know it's bad.
Yeah.
Child abuse. I don't need to see it to know it's bad. But, there's obviously a very heavy political statement being made here, too, about militias and that type of thing. Feel about that how you will, one way or the other. But next week, big time TV reviews for Reacher season 2 and Fargo season 5.
Yep, we will have that all wrapped for you with a nice little bow.
Yep, still trying to work my way through Obliterated. You're going to be disappointed in me. But I think I found something else that I like better. Ted.
That's what I'm going to be watching.
I watched the first episode of the Peacock series, the prequel, Ted. It's hysterical. It's funnier than hell. It is so well done. And I God help me for saying, I wasn't a huge fan of the first movie. I never even watched the second.
I didn't bother with the second.
But the premise is, you can do a lot with the premise.
Yeah.
And the series, God help me for saying it, this could be the format it needs. I think it's better than a movie. I think it's better in like 35, 40, 45-minute chunks.
Seth MacFarlane found the perfect venue for the bear.
I think it works better in this format.
Nice.
Yes. The first episode, they introduced the current situation back in the early 90s that Ted is stuck in. And, characters we've never met before.
All right.
Mother and a father and a family member, and of course the younger Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
And basically episode 1 is about how Ted can get himself kicked out of school because he's forced to go to school because he basically almost burns the house down and has hookers over us.
God help us.
So,
and there you go.
So, just my type of movie, just my type of TV show, my type of content.
Perfect. I'm in.
But yeah, I'm already into episode 2. I'm loving it. So 7 total episodes in season 1 of Ted on Peacock.
All right. Did they all drop?
Yes. Yes,
wow.
They're all out already.
All right. There we go.
Yep. I'm jumping back and forth between that and On Patrol Live. By the way, I know you probably know this already, but On Patrol Live renewed for season 3.
Yep.
So we have 90 more episodes coming that'll carry us through well into 2025. So I jump back and forth between Ted and On Patrol Live. And so what kind of debauchery do I want to watch tonight?
Where are we going?
Teddy bear debauchery or real debauchery? I have got 2 shows on my to-watch list once Fargo and Reacher are done. Echo, which is in the Daredevil Kingpin universe, is actually on Hulu.
Yeah, I'm out, Jerry. No Hulu for me.
I'm going to watch it. 5 episodes. Supposedly, Daredevil makes a significant appearance in this before his big series comes up on Disney+.
Yeah.
Although we don't know when that's going to debut.
Right.
But Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin is just fantastic.
D'Onofrio's fantastic in anything he does.
I know.
Come on.
I know. Magnificent Seven. And then, of course, I'm a big fan of True Detective. Season 4 of True Detective just dropped with Jodie Foster. Night Country on Max.
That looks fantastic. We've been talking about watching that and then going back.
Yeah, you don't have to watch them in sequence.
Right.
It's almost an anthology where you can watch every series every year. I will tell you, all 4 are phenomenal. Well, the first 3.
Yeah.
Don't know about the 4th yet, but The first one with Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey is outstanding. The second one, because it didn't live up to the first one, got a lot of flack. But it's got Vince Vaughn and Colin Farrell. I thought it was fantastic. Then the third one is very intriguing with Mahershala Ali. But yeah, all three of the previous anthology, the stories, awesome. So cool. I'm looking forward to watching this.
Yeah. No, Night Country looks great.
Yep. True Detective, phenomenal premise, phenomenal idea to do these, even though it's every 3-4 years. You bring in the best of the best when it comes to the acting and the cast.
Yeah.
It's like Fargo, but it's darker and much more intense.
Cool. Yeah, I know. We've seen, while watching Fargo, you see the previews for what was it, The End of the World?
Doesn't do anything for me. No.
Yeah, it's just, it looks generic.
Yep.
So that's a hard pass for me.
Yeah, I see Clive Owen, and that's the only thing about it that intrigues me is I like Clive Owen.
Yeah, you see the it's like.
But then I see a chick with purple hair, and I'm like, I'm out.
The premise might be okay, but the previews do not lend you to want to really see it.
Right. Yep. Nope. I have seen the same things you've seen, and I agree. Doesn't do it for me. All right, moments of silence in the entertainment world. All TV this week. Now, Dave and I have admitted, and you can't shame us because we've already owned up to it, and you did it too. You did it too. When you were younger and you were alone in your college dorm room and you were lonely, you reached over and you tried to grab that remote control to turn on the TV to watch a soap opera.
Everybody's watched a soap opera. Come on. If you don't
What'd you think I was talking about, you dirty, filthy bastards?
If you don't admit it, then you're a lying sack.
One of the true legends. The true legends of soap operas. Bill Hayes. From Days of Our Lives. Who had been on that show for, 50 years?
Yeah.
I mean, up until last year. And he was in his mid-90s.
Yeah. Just
passed away. You see his face, you see his picture, you know who he was. One of those guys that there's a handful of people.
Yeah.
6, 8, 10 people from soap opera history that everybody knows. And he was at the top. He'd be like on the Mount Rushmore of soap operas.
Yeah. Yeah. He is one of those guys. Then Alec Musser, another soap opera actor from All My Children.
Very sad. Very sad.
Ugh.
It was suicide.
Yeah, I hate to hear that.
50 years old. And the dude was I'm sorry. He's a good looking dude. I'm like, what are you doing?
Everybody's got their demons.
I know, but you hear these stories and you just almost kind of wish you could pull the guy aside and say, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'll take you out for a beer. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Why don't? Look at you. You're not like a troglodyte. What? I mean, why are you killing yourself?
Yeah.
Whatever you've got to work through, somebody's got to be there to help you.
Yeah.
Help the people around you, people.
Yep. And then she was a comedy legend. Joyce Randolph, 99 years old, the last surviving member from the Honeymooners, played Trixie Norton, Art Carney's TV wife.
Yep. And a lot of the listeners out there probably don't know the Honeymooners. That was one of the first truly great TV shows.
To the moon, Alice, to the moon.
Yeah, I get sad when I think about it because another 10, 15 years down the road, Is anybody going to remember The Honeymooners or I Love Lucy?
Yeah.
I mean, God, even the Brady Bunch. I mean,
That's coming down the line quickly, too.
it just makes me sad. It just makes me really sad. And a very nice moment. I hate to break up the moments of silence here because I know we're not done yet, but something I read about the Emmys the other night. Really nice moment where Christina Applegate came on stage and they gave her a standing ovation because of all her health struggles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just keep thinking back to even Married with Children. Love and marriage, love. But you get sad and you get wistful and you start to think about
great shows that you watched and
our
enjoyed.
kids probably don't even know those shows from the late 80s, early 90s. I know Nick watches Friends with Mrs. C.
Right.
But
I need to introduce them to Al.
Yep. And Peg.
Yep. The Bundy clan.
Yep. Love that show. Loved it so much. And then for me personally, this one hurt. But technically you could probably, at this point, every week find somebody who's passed away from a classic episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah. Crazy Joe.
Yeah, Peter Crombie, otherwise known as Crazy Joe Davola. The hair on my tongue. Crazy Joe, I think, was in 5 episodes of Seinfeld.
Yeah.
But again, all those characters made an impact. They all seem to have a more significant impact than just the 1 or 2 or 3 episodes they were in, because they would be carry on later. Do you remember Crazy Joe Davola? You remember when he kicked Kramer in the head? You know, they all. Yeah. The legend always lived on. You know.
Yep. Lloyd Braun.
Yep. You want me to get you some gum?
Ding.
Yeah. Sold another one. He's lying. He sold nothing. He sold nothing.
Oh.
God.
Talk about it. Yeah. But another show nobody's going to really remember. Love American Style. Lynn Marta was on that, and she was also in Footloose.
Love American Style. Truer than the Red, White, and Blue. God, I remember that one. All right. Should we do what we have to do at this point in time?
Yes, it's time to pivot. Pivot as we have to do.
All right, so I have 4 this week, so we can play
mini version
of Red Foreman's Dumbass or Not with your Uncle Dave. One of these is a carryover from a couple weeks ago because I need his opinion. I need a second opinion when we were having our technical difficulties. I threw this out there on the bonus episode, but I need him to verify this one for me. But we've got other ones as well. Pop culture, dumbass or not. First up, Quebec. It's Canada, so. Quebec, the police in Quebec are requesting that people do not post surveillance videos of porch pirates stealing their packages because it's a violation of the thief's privacy.
Bullshit! You're a thief. You have no privacy.
Can you believe that?
That's ridiculous.
You're violating their privacy. Is that
from French Quebec?
I don't know specifically. It's the Quebec police that issued that mandate.
No. Post them. Put those assholes out there so you know who they are. So you know who to beat the hell out of when you lose something.
Jesus Christ, we watch On Patrol Live. All these people are filming everything.
Yeah. Everybody films everything.
Where's the privacy violations there? A show that we like, especially your youngest, Nick. I'm calling out the Emmys on this one because now that the show is over, Better Call Saul got 53 Emmy nominations over its entire run. Didn't win a single Emmy.
That's pathetic.
Bob Odenkirk didn't win anything. Nothing. No writing. Nothing.
That's
0 for 53 for
that's
Better Call
sad.
Saul.
That's sad.
Yet you watch some of these shows that they give dozens and dozens and dozens
year
of Emmys
after
to.
year after year.
Yeah.
That are crap.
Yeah. Yep. Nothing for Better Call Saul. I find that to be a travesty. I'm calling out Fox News because I've noticed this on their website over the last couple of weeks and I'm getting a little pissed off with it. Ever since the new year, you click on a link to you go to their homepage, you see an article you want to read. On half of them now, you click on the article, they go, you have to sign in and create an account in order to read this.
Ugh.
You don't have to pay.
No, but you have to create a damn
And they
account.
want your email.
Yeah, so they can bog you down with more effing spam.
Yeah, and I'm
stupid
literally
ass
telling you,
newsletters.
It's half the stories where they will not show you anything other than the first line of the story.
Yeah,
and say, "Fuck you, Fox. Fuck you." That's a good way for me to go to CNN or some other website to get my daily news. You want to play these fucking games? Fuck you. Oh, by the way, if you want to listen to any more Sports Frenzy content, please give us your email. Just kidding. Just kidding. Fruit Stripe gum has been discontinued. How do you feel about that?
I'm disappointed. That's a part of my childhood that is gone forever.
I know, I read that.
No longer will you have those 5 seconds of intense flavor.
I always liked Fruit Stripe gum.
So did I.
You know?
It was that special treat.
You had Fruit Stripe and Bubble Yum and Bubblicious. And I know what Bubble Yum's around. I don't know if Bubblicious is. I think Bubble Yum is still around.
Bubble Yum might be.
But yeah,
Fruit Stripe with those 5 seconds of super intense flavor.
With the zebra, with all the different colored stripes.
Come on.
And you can't order your booze anymore from Drizly. Remember all those ads over the last year or two? Drizly?
No.
Really? I've seen like thousands of ads for Drizly.
Okay.
Well, but this is gonna suck then.
They stopped.
Well, here's where it makes it a dumbass move. Uber bought Drizly a couple years ago. But here's the thing. Why would you buy a service that delivers alcohol when you have another part of your business that already does that? So basically, they're shutting down Drizly, and Uber's got another branch that
so
delivers
they bought out
booze
the competition.
Basically, yes. Yes.
And shut them down.
Yes.
I hate
You've
that
never
shit.
seen a Drizly ad before?
No.
With the hot women talking about getting the booze delivered to their... I remember there's one specifically where I just want the chick's button to pop because you get one button to pop.
If it's a commercial, I probably fast forwarded through it and didn't even pay attention.
All right. Well, I'm going to make an ass of myself. This is the one where I wanted validation. And I'm sure you will not back me up on this, but...
You might be surprised.
All right. Remember, you've obviously been an aficionado of mysteries.
I've enjoyed one or two.
Reading mysteries. And one of the most famous, if not the most famous, detective is who?
Well, which one? I mean, come on.
Sherlock Holmes.
All right.
Sherlock Holmes.
The granddaddy of
detectives.
Right. Yes.
And of course, Sherlock Holmes has been around for a long time, so public domain and all that stuff.
Oh, are they making him a serial killer too now?
No, but remember Elementary, where they made Lucy Liu
Watson.
Watson?
Yes.
Well, now the same guy. And again, I apologize. This is repetitive from the bonus episode a couple weeks ago. The same guy who wrote that series, CBS has said, we love that so much, we're going to have you do it again. So now they're rewriting Watson. Sherlock Holmes is dead. This is all set in modern day.
God.
This is all set in modern day. Sherlock Holmes being played, or Watson, Dr. Watson being played by Morris Chestnut, African American, in a modern day medical mystery drama. So it's going to be set in a hospital where, of course, it sounds like House to me.
So is this a combination House and Quincy?
Yeah, but it's John Watson again.
Come on, just stop the stupidity. You cannot have Watson without Sherlock.
But Sherlock's dead.
Then you don't do the show.
I miss the old days with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. That old BBC show. That was it. That was Sherlock and Watson.
That was brilliant in the modern setting.
Right. But now,
this
again,
is dumb. This is dumb.
This asshat for CBS that keeps trying to rewrite the Sherlock Holmes mythology.
Just stop the stupidity.
And he's trying to make it all PC, of course.
Of course. No, you don't have Watson without Sherlock.
Well, that being said,
that's dumb.
About as dumb as ending Fruit Stripe gum.
Exactly.
All right, he's Dave.
He's Kev.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope we got you through your hangover. We're going to start on one of our own. We will talk to you next week, kids. Take care.
Bye-bye.